Hello everyone, my name is Big Wise. I go by Big Wise Crypto on Twitter, and today I would like to present to you the Enigmatic box and go over the mechanics, what it actually is, and why I believe it's the next evolution in NFT standards. Now, what if you had the choice to keep your NFT unopened? And what if the RNG remained true to the very last box in the collection? The Enigmatic box is a 100% on-chain implementation that takes true RNG into each box independent of what the other boxes in the collection have done. The final artwork is decided exactly at the time of opening inside of the smart contract, which is verified and anyone can review. So there's no chance for manipulation of the outcome like you might find with other off-chain NFT projects, and nobody truly knows what's inside until it's open. And that's even the developers, because the randomisation is done at the time you open it in the contract, in the transaction. So it's a really fun way to engage in the game of getting something random from opening a pack or a box. I'd like to go over some of the typical NFT projects and what characteristics they have and why the Enigmatic box provides something new and different and progressive. So with a typical NFT project, all of the images that you see post-reveal, they're actually pre-generated and stored off-chain. And that means there are a fixed amount of rares. So when you have different tiers and combinations, some traits are extremely rare, some of them are one-of-ones, they're all fixed supply, and whoever's making them, they know the exact distribution because they set them in that generation script. So as the NFTs become revealed, the probability of getting a rare, it actually changes depending on what has been pulled already. So for example, if there are 50 legendary NFTs out of a collection of 10,000, then the moment that all 50 have been found, the rest of the NFTs that are yet to be revealed, you're guaranteed not to have a legendary in there because the 50 fixed ones have already been taken. So this is actually not true probability, because when you look at it from a total 10,000 collection point of view, 50 legendaries means you have 0.5% chance to get a legendary. But as soon as all 50 are taken, you actually have 0% chance. So the probability changes as things are revealed. And what it does is it severely hampers the value and the fun, most importantly, the fun for holders of the remaining NFTs. Because what's the fun in revealing an NFT when you already know that you're not going to get that legendary everybody wants? Also, the off-chain generation can lead to insider trading, as the person generating them knows the IDs of the rare NFTs. So they can potentially tell their friends or even create multiple wallets themselves and go to the marketplace to snipe the rare NFTs based on IDs that they know pre-reveal. And the rest of the people that are selling them, they actually have no idea what's inside. So that's something that has happened before in various NFT projects, and that's really not fair for the end user. Very rarely do you even have the option not to reveal your NFT, because all of the metadata is typically linked off-chain and revealed all at the same time for the entire collection. So what it comes down to is, it comes down to a game of speed. Who's got the know-how and the resources to quickly refresh that metadata so that you can go and snipe the rare ones before everybody else can see them. And this whole system, it's very similar to counting cards in blackjack. So the probability of getting a 10 changes as the cards are dealt from the deck, because you know there is a fixed supply of 10s in the deck and you are counting what has already been dealt. and you're only betting when the probability is in your favor. So this is why the casinos absolutely do not allow counting cards, and they will make sure they catch you and warn you or kick you out of the casino. Compared to that, the innovation of the Enigmatic box. As I said earlier, it's 100% on-chain randomization, generation, and storage. Opening the box will generate a 100% on-chain piece of fine art. And this is all done inside the verified smart contract that anybody can inspect. So when we talk about transparency and being able to see for yourself or for other people to look inside and determine whether it is indeed a fair contract and fair randomization, anyone is welcome and free to go and assess that. There are 10 tiers of boxes, with each tier having different probabilities of generating a rare NFT. And there are also multiple ways to obtain the boxes and upgrade to higher tiers. The first reward, so this was the first reward of owning and nesting the On-Chain Birds Genesis collection. So the Enigmatic box and the mechanics, if we go back to another casino example, this is like choosing black or red in roulette. And you can just ignore the green 0 or the double 0 just for simplicity. Now, just because it has been black the last 10 spins, the next spin is still 50-50, despite what a lot of people might think. So this is true probability. And as an NFT collector or investor, you want true probability. So even if you have the very last box that is yet to be opened, your probability is exactly the same as every other box that was open and the other boxes that were open have no impact on your box. And why is this important for the NFT space? So the NFT space, in my opinion, is lacking transparency and fairness. And you only need to do a quick search on Twitter or even on Google or ask around in Discord to find people that have been involved in NFT projects that were either rugs or unfairly gamed. The current space is actually profitable for people who are either insiders or they know how to code, because they can get information either unfairly or faster than the average person. And that's us. The average people are us, and we're the ones that miss out. There's actually no mechanism that allows holding of unopened, unrevealed NFTs for investment that also generate all the randomness and combinations and traits and the resulting NFT on chain. Nothing like that on Ethereum or any other chain as far as I know. The majority of NFT metadata and the images are stored off-chain for the majority of other projects. And that relies on third parties to keep the service running. And we've seen many events relating to keeping assets with third parties, e.g. Celsius and more recently FTX. And this is the same for NFTs. So if you trust a third party, you do run the risk of losing your assets. So if they're unable to keep the service running up, for example, the hosting of the images, then if the service gets stopped, then your images that are linked to your NFT tokens are no longer available. And it's up to either the project, if they're still around, to reconfigure the tokens to point to a different server, or if they're not around, then you're never going to get that image back. The majority of NFTs, I believe, are being very much overvalued, and that's mostly based on future utility, things that they promise they're going to do in the future. So you might be spending $5,000 or even $60,000 for an NFT, but the moment that you buy that NFT, you're not getting that retail value back into your hands. And the most of that value that you think you're going to get is based on speculation of future things like getting a free airdrop for a second collection or a companion, or getting coins, for example, or land or things like that. And most of the time, this utility actually is either not delivered at all or takes a very long time to deliver. And as we all know, 1 week in NFT is a long time. And the NFTs, in my opinion, again, need to go back to being valued for exactly what they are, on face value. And art is the best type of digital asset to make this happen, because art is just art without any future expectations. If you like the art, you buy it, regardless of whether it's $3, $100, $10,000, even six figures or millions of dollars. If you believe that the art is worth that much money, you'll pay for it. And you're not going to say, okay, now that I've paid $1 million for the art, now I want some kind of additional perks or anything like that. Nobody expects that in art. The 100% on-chain randomization, generation, and storage ensures nobody knows what will be generated from opening the box. And being stored on-chain means the image lives for as long as Ethereum lives and can't be deleted, edited, or censored. And censorship is a very interesting one, because you as an artist, or if you were an artist and you wanted to put your stuff on-chain, then nobody can say to you, I don't like the way you're doing a particular style of art, so therefore I'm going to delete it from the centralized server. That can't happen. So this is another good point about being fully on-chain. Now, these enigmatic boxes, we've gone through and described it as like opening Pokemon cards, but actually it's better than having unopened Pokemon first edition booster packs. And we can see here that the value of these unopened booster packs have been increasing through time. And this particular article that I've linked here tells us that an unopened box of original Pokemon first edition boosters sold for over $400,000. So this is the holy grail of collecting. These first edition boosters, sealed, mint condition, worth a lot of money. But is the randomization actually fair? Well, it isn't, because the cards that are inside the unopened packs, they obviously don't change. So as you open them, it doesn't randomly decide to generate the cards for you. Whatever's inside is already inside, which means that if the total print run across all of these first edition Pokemon cards had 5,000 Charizard holos, and you somehow knew all 5,000 were already in circulation, it means they're already being found in packs, then the remaining boxes are actually worth much less, because you know you can't get the Charizard holo. So this is why the enigmatic box mechanics are better in every single way, by preserving the value of the boxes right down to the very last one, because the generation of the art of what you get from opening the box is only decided at that time and not predetermined. So a couple of answers to some very frequently asked questions. Because of the true probability, it's possible that the number of legendary NFTs could be above the expected value. We call that EV. It's also possible that it could be exact. So for example, if it was 1% in a collection of 10,000, then the expected value would be 100. But it's possible that it could be over 100, it could be exactly 100, and it's also possible that it would be under 100. And in the case of it being under the EV, that makes them actually even rarer and more valuable, as well as the unopened boxes as well, because people know that there should have been, on true, pure, absolute, perfect probability, 1% should yield 100 legendaries. But if there's only 80 and there's only one pack left, one box left, opening that last box actually has no additional, there's no change the probability of opening that box. But if you happen to get that legendary, then you've got one of only 81 in total, as opposed to the expected value, which was 100. The upgrade system and the 10-tier system introduces additional game mechanics. So yes, it is possible that the lowest tier actually becomes the lowest supply if most people decide to upgrade their boxes. So people are asking about the tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s. Are they going to be worth anything? It's very possible, and it all depends on what everybody else does. The generative art will be fine art, and it will be challenging the boundaries of the Ethereum blockchain capabilities, because it's typically very expensive to store a lot of data on the blockchain. And of course, the more detailed the art is, the more the file size typically becomes, the larger it becomes. But Ren, the developer in this project, is challenging these capabilities and thinking of different ways to get around this problem and trying to upload very fine quality art entirely stored on the blockchain. And yes, you really can keep the box unopened for 100 years. As long as Ethereum is alive, you will be able to open your box. So with that, come and join us to learn about the future of NFTs, this collection, and all future projects by the On-Chain Birds team. Our Discord link is, as you see on your screen, and we look forward to having you join us. Thank you.